Welcome back to 365 Days of Healing. What is sovereignty? It's such a common term, isn't it, these days? And for anyone who's trained with us at My Health Yoga, you will have heard that term many, many times. In fact, from a asana perspective, when we do a traditional pose like Tadasana or mountain pose, we, in our teacher training, get you to describe what a mountain is. And one of the terms that people always come up with is that the mountain is sovereign. There is sovereignty in a mountain. It stands tall, it stands majestic, it stands in its own personal power. It is equally grounded as it is reaching into the heavens. It's so powerful and it's unmoving. It's unmoving, even though, of course, we know a mountain is ever evolving like any living frequency. There is always evolution, but the mountain seems very steadfast, very solid in its knowing of who it is. And so sovereignty, for those who have been with us on the My Health journey for some time, is a term that's very, very common to you. But for many other people, it's a question that I get asked a lot. What is this sovereignty that we're all talking about? Sovereignty, in terms of the current narrative, is a very, very potent term because it reminds us that we don't have to seek power outside of ourselves. And another step on from there, we don't have to take the dictates of anyone outside of ourselves. We are in our own personal beam. We are in our own personal radiance, connection through our highest 12-dimensional selves to the Godhead. There is nothing else unless you choose to buy into something outside of yourself. Now, it is a choice, and that's what sovereignty is. It is your free will choice. So sovereignty, we tend to mean it's the one that's choosing to not engage in, the dictates from people, governments, tyrannical elites, whatever's going on. But sovereignty actually means that you may still choose that because sovereignty is your personal choice. It's your free will choice. So, but to remain sovereign tends to mean more so that we don't listen to that dictate. We don't give our power over to that. We choose the highest monadic principle that is self with the capital S, meaning you are plugged directly in to your own God, Goddess knowing of what is true for you, and you will follow that no matter what. So along the sovereignty journey, you are going to be faced with a lot of challenges and a lot of fears that maybe there's something wrong with you and maybe you didn't get it right. Maybe the information, the download that's coming through you from your God source is all a bunch of hooey. That maybe actually you're making things up because you're being asked to trust in an unseen realm. That's what faith and spirituality is. Spirit is not of physical, dense form. And so the gods with the lower G are here on the planet coming to us in physical form. I mean, there is also gods with the lower G in the astral realms too. But let's just say that we think the government's God, or we think scientists are gods, we think the doctor's God with the lower G, never the big G. And so we think, oh, well, they know, they're experts and they've studied this and they've got empirical evidence. So therefore I need to give my power away to that. And, because I haven't been conditioned and trained that I matter. So we have the little I and we think they've got the big G, but actually they're little G's, they're little gods, they're little tyrannical little power suckers. And we are the big I. We are the capital I, the isness. We are the Godhead. So you're being asked, particularly at this time, to awaken your sovereignty, to awaken the capital I within you, to awaken your God, Goddess self that knows all. There's a living library of divine intelligence within you, in your DNA. Now, yes, these tyrannical forces have been dumbing us down and we've got so-called junk DNA, so 10 strands of deactivated DNA. And I'll be kind when I say this, but that's a lot of the humans that you're dealing with. So have compassion every step of the way. The starseeds do have more activated strands of DNA. They are from the family of light. They've come here on a specific mission. But we had to come into human form. We had to be boots on the ground. We had to understand what it was meant to be human so that we could help these humans that have been targeted by these archontic forces. So when we have that compassion, that empathy, and that knowing, it's true knowledge and it's true wisdom. So we can lead. Yes, people listening to this, you are the way showers. Of course, you're the way showers, but way showers need to go first. So don't get too frustrated about that, but show sovereignty, show what it means in living action, show through your ability to stand in the fire and take the heat, no matter what's thrown at you, that you will remain sovereign. You will even give your very life to it, because if you don't, you are like the walking dead anyway. You have died, your spirit has died at the point that you allow yourself to be, I'm going to say it, you know what I'm going to say, you allow yourself to be jabbed. It's like shot, you're being shot, because it's going to affect your health for the rest of these days. Now, the other side is we can heal out of anything, but that's not what it's about. If you were held down and forced to have that shot, you would heal out of it because your intention was not to give up your sovereignty. That's a big difference. That's a huge difference to rolling up your sleeve willingly and go, oh, I'll just, I've got to get back to normal. I've got to travel and I've got to keep my job that I probably don't like anyway. These are all excuses for you not to stand in your sovereign power and be who you came to be. You've got to claim that self as the creator. You are the creator experiencing your own creation. You are the sovereign being. You can choose to be the highest creative principle whilst having this physical third dimensional experience. Now, many of you are living in fifth dimension currently. Remember, if you haven't listened to us before raving on in our podcast, those of you who have you'll know what I'm about to say. But if you haven't, remember, all dimensions overlay each other. So people say, well, where is New Earth? Well, it's here. You're living it. You're living it by your ability to be sovereign. You're living it by your heart space, by giving out love unconditionally, by holding compassion, non-judgment. These are all 5D elements. You will find then that your life becomes a living paradise. So it becomes a living fifth dimension. Does not mean you're not observing those in the third dimensional experience that are invoking a lot of pain and trauma, and a lot of people, having to cross over at this time, because as we move into 5D, they're not able to hold the frequency of this upgrade of the planet. Now, Mother Earth herself, she's going to 5D. So you get the choice. Are you going to go along with her? Are you going to go the organic paradise timeline, or are you going to go the other timeline? Now, it is a choice, and there's no judgment in that choice. You're simply where you need to be on the continuum of consciousness. But for those living in 5D, you'll find there's a lot of synchronicity, a lot of coincidences, we might call them. There's a lot of magic. You're in the magic realm and you're within magic. That's what the monad is. You're within magic. You're just claiming again your supernatural powers. We've been offline with that DNA. We're coming online to the 12-stranded DNA, supernatural, true earth human. So I just want to share something quite funny about that 5D, because myself and Greg, who I work with, my right-hand man here at My Health, so he was off teaching a yin yoga workshop today on the Gold Coast. And I was here at home considering what I'm going to do for the 365 days of healing. I thought, it came through my mind, what is sovereignty? That will be the subject matter for today. And then Greg messages me that he just arrived at the studio, ready to teach his workshop, and he reads number plates. He's going to do a video soon on how to read number plates, or psychic readings, how the messages come to you. But for him, it's number plates. So he gets his number plate. Let me just show you this. So here it is. I'm sitting here thinking I'm going to do sovereignty, which is all about freedom. And he sees this number plate and decides to get a grab shot of that and send it to me. So be free. Can't say it any better. Be free. It's all there. The messages are all around you. Your angels, they want you to activate and open and ask for help, because then they can send you all these messages. You've also got a galactic family. You've also got ascended masters who are supporting you. You've also got your loved ones who have crossed over. You are never, ever alone. You have all of this support in the unseen realms. Remember, you are the creator experiencing your own creation. So be sovereign, be free. Mwah. Namaste.